Come, come to me. You have nothing to fear of me, human. I am simply lonely as I await my return to the Misty Lands. I would like to talk. Is my appearance repellent to you, human? Your kind find no kinship in the unnatural. My brother in Pieces summoned me from the Misty Lands. We are bound by flesh, blood, and our kinship with Dalzedur. But Impisi asked of me power that could not be given. He took my silence for disobedience, and drove me forth from his camp in a wrath. I simply wish to return to my realm, but Impisi will not allow it because he thinks I am withholding information. If I could simply kill Impisi to secure passage to my realm, I would do it. But the incantations that he spoke bind us as one, tied together by invisible threads. His thoughts are my thoughts. If he is struck, I am bruised. If I am cut, he bleeds. There must be a severing of ties if I am to find my way back. Do you know of Dalzedur, human? Once all living things worshipped him. When men and animals spoke the same tongue, he would walk among them in any form that he chose. He would mate with females of all races, and from those unions would birth half-divine children such as I, such as Impisi. Most men have forgotten the tongue that they shared with the animals. Only some few animals remember. Would you learn to speak with the animals, human? The realm that I come from is volatile, a world of shifting energies and elemental forces. By contrast, I find your world to be tranquil. But I suspect that my nature makes me more sensitive to the undercurrents that run beneath this strange land. Take this grove, for instance. These trees were once something else, not human, nor any other creature that I have encountered in this place. And they are screaming, endlessly screaming. Have you seen my brother Impisi? He is more animal than man, lost in the mad-scented lust of the hunt. When he summoned me, he sought the power to become a beast for a period. When I refused him and was outcast, he turned to darker powers. I fear that a bat has flown over the mountains of the dead, bearing his request to the four brothers of the night. What the gods of darkness have replied, I do not know. But strange beasts stalk the night now, and once I saw the shadow of the children of Jill passing over this place and into the mountains. I fear what he has unleashed. Is my appearance repellent to you, human? Your kind find no kinship in the unnatural. My brother in Pieces summoned me from the Misty Lands.
I'm not sure what's the grove he's talking about because there are no trees here. I think its location is not permanent, that's in it's a placeholder.
He took my silence for disobedience and drove me forth from his camp.
That's my hunch at least. Right. Sandstorm's coming, so we're going to get the journey step for surviving it without a shelter. I think that building right there provides access to the north. There's a walkway you can take. And There's a thing here. There are chests to loot, but if you go close, you trigger a... I don't know, an Easter egg maybe?
Hello? Hey! There's somebody out there? I hear someone out there. Oh, help! Hey, get us out of here! Help! Listen! We're on the other side of the door. We're kind of in a pickle. Could use your help. Think there's some levers out there? A good chance one of them will open the door and we'll be... Could you pull a lever, please? Pull it! Please? Just pick a lever.
Yeah, I think this breaks the game's immersion. I don't feel like any people in a world of Conan would have those kinds of accents and vocabulary. Who's going to say we're in a pickle in a barbarian world? I don't really like it. I'm not going to play the rest of it. It's the same thing with the Staff of the Triumvirate. That also seems like a dialect of English that really stands out as being out of place in a world of Conan. Your opinion may differ. But that's my stance. But we did get climbing boots, which lower the stamina rainfall when you climb stuff. So that's nice. And we were supposed to visit the Dogs of the Desert camp. And there's some merchants here that you can interact with if you have the coins for the product. They're hidden in elevated positions onto the scaffolding. We actually didn't get the Survival Sandstorm out of Shelter achievement for some reason, even though we had the Sandstorm mask on. That's interesting. Well, we'll just have to wait for the next storm, I guess. Maybe we were the location where it wasn't supported, because you need to avoid a damage tick from the sandstorm through wearing the mask. There's a brewing recipe to be unlocked in the dog camp somewhere. I usually want to get it, but it can be a pain because there's so many NPCs here. One of the things the Dogs of the Desert NPCs do is they carry edibles quite often. It sets them apart from the other factions. They usually have some sort of edible meat. They are a faction tier higher than the Black Hand Pirates. So they're slightly tougher and might have better items in their inventory when you kill them. the brewing recipes this way. Awake memory. Actually, I might be further to the west than I'm supposed to be. I think I usually take this entrance to get here. Oh, there's a tier 2 taskmaster that we're not going to be able to save from the hyena. Oh, there's a hyena skull helmet. It's medium armor that gives survival. We are not going to take it. You can learn the technology to make them yourself later on. They're hidden in the northeastern corner of the desert. Yeah, this is where the
I can taste your
brewing thing is. I seem to be a bit stuck here now, thanks to the hyena.
To live is to die.
Which is a bit unfortunate. We have a few taskmasters here, at least tier 3 and
Never return to your den.
tier 1.
Have you nothing better, pup? Have you nothing better, pup?
And this is where the brewing recipe is. That's what we're here to take. So yeah, there's Americans around. I don't think this leads to one of them. I think there's one on that scaffold there. But there are some lootable chests up here. So I think only contain very basic stuff. As in no coins. Oh, precious metals. Yeah, this one just leads to the ground level. I do have to block the way. There is a chest down there that we might want to access. Oh, it actually had coins in them. But I do want to watch my carrying capacity as well. You can, I think you can get the camel cull from one of the merchants here and the rock nose egg from another. I think there was a third one as well, but I'm not sure what he sold. Maybe a sand reaper egg, maybe something scorpion or spider related. I really can't remember. But I'm not going to buy any of those at this time. Because we should be going to the unnamed city. I'm actually going to Alt-tab and reset the recording to keep the file size on the lower end so that it's easier to compress. Like so. I moved myself a bit to get better shelter while I was taking a leak. So nothing of importance was really missed. I guess we're approaching the unnamed city from the north now. I think there was a dragon on its northern expanse. You can see that we have a journey step of destroy a dragon. Even a baby dragon counts, so that's what we're probably going to kill, because the bigger dragons are a bit on the meaner side. Now there's a boss scorpion as well. There's a inconspicuous well here. If you look down, you can see something interesting. That's actually quite a large thing. The perspective lies. You're going to die of fall damage even if you climb down and drop down at the lowest point. I would know because I've tested it with a character with a lot more hit points than this one has. Although I didn't have the halved falling damage perk from agility, was it? Yeah, the issue with the unnamed city is corruption. Not in its politics or bureaucracy, but in its health-related environmental issues. It also has a bunch of undead creatures roaming. But it's got a few locations with treasures, and if you learn where they are, you can just go and loot stuff. You can also get the legendary patch kits from the chests. It's something nice if you spend your time roaming this place, taking a note of where things are. There's also the city obelisk here, which will attune, and the archive is this way. And the corruption stops inside. And there aren't any enemies here, nor do they follow you in. And one of these shells was interactable. The Dark Library. Basically, if you find fragments of power, you can spend them here to get random technologies. From this location, it's basically, like they said, random. I think you get a fixed technology the first time you interact with it. Not sure what it was called. Dark Library. The skull, yeah. Library of esoteric artifacts. Teaches you a decorative metal skull. That could be abused at some point to reach maximum level, but I think they fixed it. Because when you dismantle it after placing, you got the same resources back that you spent crafting it, and crafting it gave you a decent amount of experience. So people just kept crafting them over and over again and dismantling. But we shall not be using such an exploit. But yeah, this is the map room. This one doesn't function, I don't think. It's just here, giving you a good idea of what the lay of the land is like. And this is the archivist, a big boy, or a
Do not be afraid,
ghost of one.
I am just a shadow, a whisper of what once was. Before the fall, when this kingdom raised knighted pillars of black stone to the sky, I was called the Archivist. Have you come to seek a way free of the bonding bracelet, human? There is only one chance, and a very slim one at that. You must assemble the items of power
that were present at its creation. The diadem of the Giant Kings, the mask of the Witch Queen, the tears of two races, the star of the champion, the heart of the sands, the shining trapezohedron, and the serpent ring of Set. I fear I set you an impossible quest, human. The diadem of the Giant Kings was once worn upon the brow of the Priest King. He fell in battle with Tyros, the Deathbringer, in the battlefields of the north. More than that, I cannot say. The Priest King was the most passionate and most volatile among us. I fear his downfall will not have been a simple matter. The Witch Queen of Lemuria was our great enemy in the dying days of our race. Her people came to us as refugees, but even as they took our succor, they plotted our downfall. She was present at the creation of the bracelet, lending her power to ours. Her fate is unknown to me, but she always ruled from her city in the swamp to the east. The tears of two races were simple to obtain when we performed the ritual. We simply took our tears and combined them. But who is left to weep for both races? Although tales persist of Tyros the Deathbringer, he was born of both races. Our blood mingled with theirs. Perhaps his tears could be enough to fulfill the requirement. Obtaining them would be quite the feat. The star of the champion lies buried beneath the sands of the arena in the east. I remember well the day that Tyros killed the mighty dragon. He wept to defeat such a noble creature. He placed the star upon its brow. As far as I know, there it remains. The heart of the sands, or simply the Scourge Stone, was an artifact of power. The Priest King used it to create a weapon, the Sandstorm, that he swore would be our salvation. He gave it to the Warmaker to unleash upon our enemies. As far as I know, it was destroyed in the attempt. But perhaps the Warmaker has more insight. The Serpent Ring of Set. It was our most powerful artifact. It was kept in a tomb beneath this city, and then one day, a human came. He had all the words and signs of power. He passed through every ward and trap we had put in place. He took the Serpent Ring of Set, and he left. If you wonder why you wear the bracelet, wonder no more. It must have been this man who called himself Tohamon. Dedicate yourself to recovering the other artifacts. You will not recover the Serpent Ring of Set as long as you are trapped in this empire. Perhaps it will be enough. When you have the artifacts, you must place them on the receptacle north of here. Once you have filled this vessel with the artifacts of power, it will create a keystone. To remove your bracelet, all that is required is to touch it with the keystone. And then, mortal, you will be free. But freedom will mean giving up all that these lands have come to offer you. So choose wisely. How did I die? I was betrayed by your kind. In a place called the Circle of Swords. I went in good faith to meet the Witch Queen. She had promised peace. I was cut down. My bones were left to rot in the wind. And yet, my spirit has always belonged to the Archives, human. And so, I am here. And here, I shall remain. Have you come to seek a way free of the bonding bracelet, human? There is only one chance, and a very slim one at that. You must assemble the items of power that were present at its creation. The diadem of the Giant Kings, the mask of the Witch Queen.
Right, so now we have the technology to craft the map room of our own, which allows us to access the fast travel teleportation system of the game.